Well, welcome back, Tacoma. Thank you for being here. I'm Christy Gledhill, sitting in for Amanda Westbrook, and as promised, we have a ton of really good news today. A lot of really great things happening in Tacoma. I have 3 people on the couch with me now, color coordinated. You guys look great. From Relay for Life, we have the mother of Relay. This is your official title, Pat Flynn, and her son, Mark Flynn. And then we have Flynn and Reiten, who is a I'm going to say this in the right order,
Yeah.
Survivor,
Correct.
a volunteer, a survivor, participant, volunteer, and board member. We'll get to that in a minute, of all the things with Relay for Life. So thank you all for being here. This is such a Tacoma event, of course, and it's something that started from a little seed here, grew to a global organization, a global movement that is in 30 different countries around the world. People all around the world are using this type of event in their own way, in their own cities, to really raise money and awareness for the American Cancer Society. So I'm just honored to have you all here today and to talk about this. The event itself doesn't happen for a while until May, but we've got some things to talk about before now and then. So let's take us all the way back to 1985. Dr. Gordy Klatt was someone who is, that's a familiar name in Tacoma to people because he's the person who is sort of the father of Relay for Life, and was a doctor here who started the whole thing. You were there. Let's just hear the story and what that's been like for you to see this thing blossom. Did you ever think this would happen?
No, it blows me away when I really think about it, and when I hear, I'll be at a meeting and people will talk about the fact that Relay has become the largest health-related fundraiser in the world, and we've raised $6.5 billion in these 34 years. So Dr. Klatt was an incredible founder of this event. This was all his idea, and I'm sorry he's not still here to hear those numbers, because he would be blown away. Right. It started as his solo 24 hours around Baker Track. But while he was on the track, he envisioned a team relay event, and the rest is history.
Well, it has grown far, far, far beyond a team relay event. And how has that felt for you to, over the years, and now, especially just knowing that, be involved and have your son be involved as the chair of the event in Tacoma? This legacy continues. How does that feel for you?
It feels wonderful. I was probably the most surprised when he came over and said, "Oh, I have to tell you about my new role." He's always been a real strong part of the Flynn family team that we've had for 22 years. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know it would morph into this, so I am really thrilled to see him out there.
Yeah, what a legacy. So you kind of surprised her with the news that you had become the chair of the Tacoma Relay for Life team. By the way, Mom, how does that, let's since we're talking about feelings, how is that for you to be involved? Let's talk about the heart stuff here. For you to be involved with this event in such a way, after your mother has had such a role in its...
Some pretty big shoes to fill. Small feet, but big shoes. So it's an honor. I'm pretty excited about it. Learned a lot watching her over the years, so looking forward to a big event this year.
Oh, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the logistics and the business end of things. What is it that you hope to, what are the goals for this year's event? Are there things that are different about this year's event that you want to talk about now? Or, what is your dream for this year?
Well, we want to raise a lot of money. And so that is our goal, to raise a lot of money. So we're asking people to come visit us at the Relay, either form a team, raise money, or come visit us Friday at 6 o'clock and experience the experience.
Yeah. There are so many ways to be involved with this event. And let's move on to talk to Lynn for just 1 second about that, because you seem to be or have been involved in all the different ways that a person can. First of all, and not by choice, at least one of them.
Correct.
Right? You are a survivor. So at one point you had cancer.
Yes.
You are now a survivor of cancer. You became involved with the event as a survivor. And I happen to know there's like the first lap around the track, as I understand it, is the survivors lap. So this is a lap that includes survivors and people currently experiencing cancer. And you have done that. And what was that first time like for you? Like,
It was amazing. Last year, about 3 weeks before Relay kicked off, I happened to see a poster at my treatment center. I was actively still in chemotherapy treatment, and I just figured I'm going to go do it. I'm a survivor. I want to experience. I want to see what's going on. And that survivor lap, the very first lap, is an experience that is just unimaginable. To walk that lap and to know that you are there and you are making it, and then to have the entire community, they surround the lap with you, and people are cheering you on and giving you high fives, and it's so exciting and empowering to see how the community comes together and supports the cancer patients and the survivors, and just cheer us on. You know, it's amazing. It's amazing to get that love and support, you know, from people who don't, you know, specifically know me, but they're concerned and they care.
Right.
And they just want to be there to help. And yeah, it's a feeling that you can't even explain. It's just amazing.
so you remain a survivor, and you have become a volunteer, and even more than a volunteer. You're a volunteer for the Relay for Life event here, but tell us about your other roles with this whole shebang.
Yeah. So I'm also a team captain. I formed a team, and that's kind of some of the basis of Relay. You build your teams, and we go out there, and that's how we relay, raise money, do fundraisers and stuff as a team, and participate that way. I am also on the Tacoma Relay Accounting Committee, my numbers background. So I have volunteered for the local group and am on the committee there. And then I went one step further, and I am also on the advisory board for the South Puget Sound American Cancer Society. So I have touched as much as I can.
Wow. Well, until now, I mean, yet, right?
Yes.
Maybe more.
Yes.
But that is an amazing story, and a really touching one to know that it's an event like that pulls people in.
It is.
Right?
It was so exciting, and it touched my life. American Cancer Society provided services to me and other friends and patients that I know, and I was so moved by how much they do for us, not just in the research is huge, but that they affected our daily lives. You know, they were able to make my life better that day. And so I had to be a part of it. I had to be a part of the bigger picture. You know, I wanted to give back and pay it forward and make sure that all other patients that come after me know about all these amazing things and events that we do. And
I love it. Well, let's talk a little bit more about that. I mean, all the different services, the research, some of the things that you mentioned that the American Cancer Society provides to survivors. Let's talk about exactly how the Relay for Life impacts the American Cancer Society's mission.
Well, the funds go to a number of things, research primarily, patient advocacy, she can speak to that, and access to care. A number of programs, if you need a ride to treatment, American Cancer Society will provide that. If you live 3 hours from your treatment center, housing is provided for you. If you, what's the name of the program?
Look good, feel better.
Great program. So they will help you get fit with a wig and put makeup on. It's just a great program. So there are a variety of things the money goes to.
We talked a little bit about this earlier, but let's talk for a minute about, you know, as the two of you, Pat and Mark, have traveled around the world with Relay for Life and talked to people in different communities, and they find out that you're from Tacoma. I mean, what does that feel like? And how do other people who were involved in this movement globally think about Tacoma and its roots?
It's crazy. It really is. We've traveled around the country as volunteers to these events, and Relay for Life is one giant family. Everywhere we go, your family. And the people will see the name tag that says Tacoma, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're from Tacoma. It all started, did you know it started there? Yeah, I do. And then with her, she's an inspiration to millions, and so everyone wants a photo op and a chance to speak to Pat. It's pretty moving.
Oh.
It's a tearjerker.
Yeah, I can imagine. So we've just got a few minutes left, and I want to make sure that we talk about the fact that yes, the event is in May, as I mentioned, but you've got some things coming up that people will want to know about and be involved with if they'd like to be involved in May. So let's talk about what's coming up here in March.
Well, what is coming up in March? Lynn?
Well, we have some team member meetings. So there's meetings that are provided if you want to start a team. You don't have to figure it out all on your own. It's real easy. You sign up and you come to one of our team meetings, and you work with other captains and members and figure out, how do I put my team together? If you want to do a fundraising event, we share all sorts of ideas. So there's that. I know that there's a deadline coming up. I don't know the exact date, but if you sign up by a certain time and get a certain dollar amount of contributions, you get free t-shirts and stuff. So you kind of, there's some deadlines that you want to make sure you get if you want to have a team involved with the relay. I know that there's also, from a business perspective, if you want to do some marketing or advertising on our lap signs, that those need to be submitted by a certain time also, so that all of the printing and everything can be handled.
I happen to know that you have a really great website that has information about all of that on it. You also have a really great Facebook page. I think it's Relay Tacoma, right, on Facebook, and it's just cancer.org for the website, and you can kind of drill down to the right zip code. But there are a lot of things on there, a lot of information about how to be involved, either as a participant, as a person who just shows up the day of and shops around at the little campsites of the participants, or just as there as moral support. I think I heard you say that is really an important part.
It is so important. There's so many ways to help and contribute. It's not just about writing a check. If you can't do that, show up that day and have a cowbell and cheer the survivors on. Just let us know, and show the entire community how much you're just there to support us. Even talked about ride to treatment. You can volunteer if you don't have other things, but you have a little bit of time. You can volunteer your time to drive patients to their treatments who can't make it and stuff like that. So there's so many ways. Or on the committees, there's various committees, that need marketing specialist or accounting specialist or stuff like that. So there's lots and lots of ways.
Okay, everyone, that cancer.org, this is where to find all the information you need to get involved with this event that has its roots right here in Tacoma with the mother of Relay. I am honored to have you all here on the couch with me today. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
And thank you, Tacoma, for tuning in today. We've got another half of a show left of really good news, so stay tuned.